Shalini. I think now everything is in order. So as I said in the beginning that when we say about Ayurveda, so immediately the first thing which attracts our mind is uh, Ayurveda education. Because if the education is perfect, so other things automatically comes in. Next, please. Next, please. Yes, so I would like to start my presentation with a quote that is said by our Honorable Prime Minister. Whatever education a university imparts, it must achieve the global level of benchmarking given the vastness and diversity of the global village we live in today. So this also applies to Ayurveda because we know that now Ayurveda is becoming a global science to study by various for even for foreign universities. Next, please. If we see the status of Ayurveda education in countries, so we know that it is well regulated by CCIM and Ministry of AYUSH. Approximately 320 Ayurveda institutions exist in the country. Of course, the number used to change with several things, means the permission, the court permissions, the permission from Ministry of AYUSH. So this number is not a fixed. Uh, Approximately 15,000 admissions they used to happen in UG and PG, and there are a list of very good institutions. They belongs to Government of India and the state government, and even some private organizations. They are doing very well, but in spite of that, there is a list of institutions which is having. I'm feeling bad to say that they perform below the benchmark. So that is the real scenario of Ayurveda education in the country. Next, please. So let us have a SWOT analysis of about the Ayurveda institution. Regarding strength, we will see that of course there is a existence of network of institutions, regulatory bodies, and well-established administrative setup at state as well as central level. The weakness which I observed is the average or poor infrastructure and facility at the level of organizations. A problem of higher faculty is a big issue. Inadequate clinical learning resources are available due to the poor hospital infrastructure. Of course, Ayurveda education is having opportunity. It is a rising sector, excellent growth in wellness and pharma industry. It is having global opportunities also. The threats are poor compliance of provisions, mushrooming of academic institutions, unprofessional attitude of college management. So based on this SWOT analysis, I will just go to the next please. Because very recently our Honorable Prime Minister launched a new education policy. I think that is not for general education and the technical education. It should also be applied to our Ayurveda education. So this national education policy basically strongly advocates a student-centric system, flexibility, liberal education, multi-entry and multi-exit options, multidisciplinary approach with emphasis on conceptual understanding, creativity, critical thinking, values, ethics, life skills, equality and inclusion, institutional autonomy, empowerment of faculty development, and strengthening of research culture. So, based on national education policy, Ayurveda education needs to develop a very visionary and timely effort that could help to reimagine, recalibrate, and rediscover core virtues of Ayurveda. Next, please. So, what outcome we expect from our Ayurveda education. So ultimately, to produce good practitioner, good researcher, good academician or teachers, good entrepreneurs, and in the last, good human beings. Next, please. So to achieve this, next, please. Next, please. So to achieve this, we have to focus over at least four components: the student, teachers, infrastructure, and the strict compliance of rules and regulations. Next, please. Next, please. So student, they need good infrastructure, conductive environment, and vibrant skill-based learning, while teachers, the expert and updated in the subject knowledge, equipped with modern teaching technologies, excellent teaching and research aptitude, because that part we have to inculcate in our teacher regarding teaching and research aptitude. Infrastructure, that should be as per the requirement of Government of India. Strict compliance, we know that this part is a biggest problem in our country related to maintaining the standard of Ayurveda education. So the norms are there, rules and regulations are there, but still there is a need to improve the academic standard of Ayurveda education by strict compliance uh, of rules and regulations. Next, please. So I have a few suggestions just to achieve the excellence in Ayurveda education. So the first, these are my personal opinion. So the first suggestion is the restructuring of educational institutions, because we know that in our country right now there are two type of institutions. Few are undergraduate colleges and others are postgraduate and doctorate level institutions. So we can divide into the research intensive academic institutions and the category B teaching intensive institutions. So in first category, the postgraduate institute will fall, and the B category, graduate colleges will fall. So our ultimate target should be that from category B, we should support the colleges to convert into category E. So in coming few years, most of our college must have research facilities, post graduation, and the doctorate level of education. Next, please. Ensuring quality standards. So how we can ensure the quality standards? So there must be accreditation system, and that should be mandatory to ensure quality issue. There should be reform at three level: at the level of affiliation of the colleges, academic activities, and the examination system, because these are three areas in which a drastic reform is required. Next, please. Next, please. So this is a new concept. I think though in a new education policy, there is a multi-entry and multi-exit degree program, but for Ayurveda, it may be something new. But I think we have to introduce this concept, because in 2017, when Honorable Prime Minister um, inaugurated All India Institute of Ayurveda, even at that time, uh, he was of opinion that suppose after 2 or 3 years of study of BMS, if a person is not able to continue his or her study, what will happen? Where his or her 3 years are wasted, or there may be a mechanism to use that period or the knowledge we imparted to them in that particular period. So it is a just idea that even after 2 years, our undergraduate curriculum should be structured in such a way that after certain period of time, we can offer some diploma program related to nursing or the pharmacy with some specific additional training of 6 months. So this can be opted. I think the CCIM is there now. The commission will be in place. So this is the idea just to think. Next, please. Academic credit bank. So right now we know that there is a specific professional system, and according to my opinion, that need to be changed. And with similar pattern of other courses, we can opt for choice-based credit system. Uh, of course, initially it looks little bit difficult, but possibilities are there. Ultimately, it will have to ease the inter-institutional transfer of a student, and there will be flexibility in study. Right now, it is a very rigid framework of teaching. So, by opting this choice-based credit system, there might be a possibility of flexibility in study. The emphasis on research and innovation is very much required, especially because in our Ayurveda colleges, we should change the environment that should be creative, critical, and with scientific thinking. Undergraduates, they should be, of course, some research methodology part is there, but that should be intensified with some projects, mini research projects, or simple projects to inculcate research aptitude in our undergraduates. Next, please. Of course, faculty is the center point of whole scenario, the Ayurveda education. So there must be continuous professional development plan for faculty in all institutions that would include capacity building in all disciplines, pedagogical methods, research methods, clinical practice, and industrial practices. And every institution should have a clear plan for faculty recruitment, development, career progression, and compensation as part of its institutional plan. Because due to a lack in this particular policy at institution level, what I observed, a lot of faculty members, they feel more frustrated, and you can't expect the best from a frustrated faculty. So let us support them by implementing a, a policy even at institution level, and state government and the government of India with the help of CCIM may see and regulate it well. Next, please. Next, please. Yes. Creating conductive learning environment. Uh, so effective learning requires a comprehensive approach that involves rigorous and responsive curriculum, effective and engaging pedagogy, continuous formative assessment, and adequate student support. So some proposed initiatives are here. A national Ayurveda education qualification framework to provide vibrant and rigorous curricula along the learning outcome, stimulating learning experiences through effective pedagogical practices. All students need to be offered meaningful opportunity for social engagement. That is a very important aspect, because even after passing graduation, uh, our graduates, they becomes a little bit away from the society. So right from beginning, right from first year, they should be engaged with society, of course, with the different methodology. Students should be assessed not only an academic aspect, because right now there is only one aspect by which we use to assess the performance of our students, but it should also be on other broad capabilities and dispositions of the students. We know that every day we are learning that various foreign universities and the people, they are more interested in Ayurveda education. So it is right time uh, for internationalization of Ayurveda education, and that needs to be facilitated through collaboration with foreign universities. Next, please. Next, please. Yes. So right now, what is happening means our graduates, they are studying very well. Our teachers, they are giving training to them with all their efforts. In, in spite of that, what happens when they pass out, we see something is missing there. And actually that missing part is the skill part. So we have to focus more on skill development of our students because the students, they need competency in clinical skill to enable them to practice safely and effectively in the real world. To ensure acquisition of clinical skills, teaching faculty should be exposed with the teaching methods that prioritize observation, practice, feedback, and more practice. So practice and practice, that is the only option to develop skill in our students. Next, please. Use of technology in education and practice. So there are, it may be at three levels. So improving the process of teaching, learning, and evaluation, aiding in training of teachers and their continuous professional development, and of course, the improving the overall planning, administration, and management of individual institutions. So if we apply the technology at all the three levels, definitely we will have wonderful results. So next, please. So with these words, I think uh, I have to close my remarks, and ultimately, we all are committed for the best quality of Ayurveda education in the country. So thank you very much uh, to organize.